Hello everyone, Jeff with the Green Review here. The Earth's climates are created by the Earth's tilt on its axis and how the changing amount of the sun's energy is unevenly redistributed over the Earth by oscillations in the ocean's currents, atmospheric winds, and the jet streams. There are many climate classification systems, but one of the most commonly published ones that a gardener would find useful was created by the German climatologist Vladimir Köppen in the early 1900s. He grouped the Earth's climates based on the amount of precipitation and the temperature range. There are 5 major types labeled A through E. A is wet and always above 64 degrees. B is dry. C is wet, but the temperature fluctuates between 27 and 50 Fahrenheit in the winter and above 64 in the summer. D has below 27 winter and above 50 degrees Fahrenheit summers. Lastly, climate E is tundra with summers between 32 and 50 degrees. The 5 climates are divided into about 30 subclimate zones. North America from Alaska to Mexico has about 14 zones. Climate zones are strongly influenced by the amount of precipitation they get, by how close they are to an ocean or the middle of a continent, and at what elevation and latitude they are. Latitude is the distance north of or south of the equator. For instance, in climate zone A, being near an ocean and its moisture could create a tropical rainforest, and by being in the middle of a continent with much less rain, a savanna climate is created. Climates do not change just because the temperatures fluctuate within the climate. The temperature ranges are part of what makes each climate unique. Climate zones near the poles are always colder, climate zones near the tropics always warmer, and the temperatures in the temperate zone climates in the middle are always shifting. The interaction of water, wind, latitude, and elevation of the land produce large regions of similar vegetation that thrive in a particular climate zone. The generalized climate map of the U.S. shows 9 subclimate zones. A single capital letter designates the overall climate. The second letter describes the precipitation rate, and the third letter describes the weather in the summer or winter. The AW is the tropical wet and dry season climate. The BS is the semi-arid steppe climate. BW is the mid-latitude desert climate. CFA, the humid subtropical climate. CFB, marine west coast climate. CS, Mediterranean climate. DFA, humid continental warm summer climate. DFB, humid continental cool summer climate. DFC, highland alpine climate. Notice the latitude's influence on the eastern half of the map. From north to south, there are 4 zones. The western side of the continent has an ocean influence that doesn't extend too far inland due to the mountain ranges that create dry desert and steppe climates on the inland side of the mountain ranges. There are many variations of climate maps, and they're all generalized maps. They can be broken down into smaller, more specific areas of subclimates. For instance, in the eastern U.S. on this map, the DF humid continental climate zone has been separated into 2 halves, DFA and DFB, depending on whether or not the summer is cool or warm. The BW desert climate can be divided into the BWH hot desert in Arizona and the BWK cold desert of Nevada. These general climate maps help us to understand how precipitation and temperature are influenced by proximity to oceans, mountains, and changes in latitude and elevation. Different plants grow in each climate zone. Subdivisions of the climate zones will also have separate plant types. So what's this mean to me? The plants that thrive in each climate zone are also influenced by the soil type, soil drainage, and microorganisms, sunshine quantity, and other environmental factors. It can be useful to determine the subclimate zone of places you may want to retire or vacation in. This will help you decide if the temperature range, rainfall amounts, and the plant life meet your expectations as a gardener. Another what's this mean to me? The first settlers crossing the tall and short grass prairies in the middle of the North American climate thought that the climate and poor soil prevented trees from growing. They assumed that if a soil couldn't grow trees, it couldn't grow crops either. Other influences besides climate also affect the types of plants native to a region. In this case, fires and larger herds of grazing animals, bison, elk, and pronghorns, helped prevent trees from growing except in the wetlands near streams and rivers. The soil quality, rainfall quantity, and the overall climate are actually good for growing trees in the middle of North America. And this is Jeff with a Green Review. Thanks for watching.